Hello everybody, it's the Worm, and welcome back to Steins Gate. I feel a bit of a somber mood going into this one, considering what is probably about to happen. Last time, we had a discussion with Krisu in the Radicon building. And the result of said conversation was Okabe finally deciding that it was necessary to go ahead and, well, in his terms, it would be to choose Mayuri over Krisu. And of course, we kind of gone back and forth with Kurisu trying to... Well, she made her arguments from a few different angles. On the one, we've had that discussion last time about whether or not Okabe's views on time travel, are his assumptions about that really true? And then also, Krisu, that's one argument, but really what it comes down to is Krisu seems to be sacrificing herself for both Mayuri and Okabe's sake. Because she can obviously see how this whole decision is affecting him. And so I think she's come to the conclusion that it would be better for her to sacrifice herself if it means Mayuri gets to live and if Okabe doesn't have to continually suffer from agonizing over this whole decision. And so here we are. We're going to go through with this, I think. Krisu went back before us, and as we can see, she's now gone. So let's go ahead and see how this works out. Now I'm very curious how things are going to play out. There's still a lot of mysterious things from the very first couple episodes of this playthrough. We even talked a little bit about it in some of the comments. The whole mystery behind Kurisu's death, Kurisu talking about meeting Okabe before Dr. Nakabachi's conference, the reason why Suzuha is time traveling at all in that world line when we're thinking CERN shouldn't be around. So why would Suzuha have to time travel in that instance? Also, why did Suzuha, why was she able to land the time machine perfectly on the roof when in the Alpha world lines she's crashed into the side of the building? I did have a few ideas about that, and I mentioned them in that comment. But I may as well, since it seems like we're coming, it feels like we're right on the edge of everything getting revealed, maybe. So I just felt like maybe I should try to throw a few things out there. For one, here's one idea. We could have a scenario in which maybe the Suzuha that we knew on the Alpha world lines, maybe she was actually incorrect. She seemed to be under the impression that if we can just get to the Beta world line, then CERN would be defeated, and, well, more pertinent for Okabe, Mayuri would live. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe, for whatever reason, CERN still exists on the Beta world lines. thus thus leading to Suzuha going on her time travel journey again. So there's that. But the other more curious thing is kind of the time machine. The time machine landing perfectly on the roof, it makes me think that perhaps... because we heard that the reason why it crashed before is that it wasn't actual... Well, no. I can't recall. We know that the time machine was not finished. But I'm trying to remember, is the reason why it crashed because... is that the reason... It being incomplete, was that the reason why it crashed into the building? But now I'm trying to remember. Maybe Suzuha mentioned it being incomplete was the reason why she couldn't go to the future. I remember there was that whole reveal where she said it was going to be a one-way trip, where she can't go back. Maybe that was why, or maybe that was the result of it being incomplete. But in any case, either or, I was thinking maybe Daru was able to actually finish the time machine completely in the Beta World line. And so why would that occur? Maybe CERN is too weak, or excuse me, weaker than they were, and so Daru was able to survive long enough to make the time machine. Or, here's another thought I had. We know that when Kurisu is alive, she essentially becomes the mother of time travel. And, so, with her dead, what if instead of her, what if Daru instead becomes the father of time travel? And we know that the reasoning behind that is because both, let's be real here, the whole time leap machine, all the phone wave name subject to change, it's a pretty much a collaborative project between Daru and Kurisu. Daru, with his technical and computer know-how, is really able to do a lot of the hard work. Now, of course, Kurisu, she's really involved on the time leap machine. But a lot of at least the fundamentals of the original machine come from Daru. So, if it could be the case that rather than Kurisu being put in charge of all that, it's Daru instead. And so we still end up having all these issues with time travel, even without Kurisu. So yeah, or it could be, if those are the two options, CERN is still a thing, or Daru, for whatever reason, is able to do more, then option C, I guess, is something I don't even know. That for whatever reason, Suzuha still needs to... I mean, we could try to think of a... Maybe it's for a happy reason. Maybe CERN is defeated, everyone survives, and Suzuha goes back in time for a happy reason or something. I don't know. I have trouble imagining what that would be exactly. I'm not sure. Trying to think what else there was. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have an inkling that things might get a bit more complicated before they start getting explained, but okay. I think I've been kind of stalling a bit, but now let's go ahead and continue on. See where Okabe's decision takes us. Got some mail here. Let's see. Uh-oh. It's from Kurisu. See you. Cease to inquire what the future has in store, and take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. Horace, Italian philosopher. I'm going back to my hotel. Do what needs to be done. Good night. Well, she said it. Let's do what needs to be done, I guess. I wait about 2 hours before returning to the lab. Krisu's already gone when I get there. All she left is a single email. I sit down on the sofa while drying my hair with a towel. I look toward the PC in the corner of the room. It's already connected to the IBM 5100, ready for Daru to start hacking. I already got in touch with him. The hacking starts tomorrow at noon. I drove myself even further into a corner by telling that to Daru. Now I can't turn back no matter how much I want to. I chose Mayuri. I will let Kurisu die. Showering didn't soften the wrenching pain in my heart. In truth, I'm just riding on Krisu's resolve. Mine is still a flimsy thing. I can't help but wonder, is this really okay? Really?
誰かいますか?
Anyone here? Okay, if anyone's gonna be able to throw a wrench into the current plan. Well, here she is. Mayuri opens the door and enters. For a moment after she catches sight of me, she looks ready to burst into tears. But that quickly gives way to a smile.
オカリンだ。
It's Okarin.
どうした?
What's up?
なんとなく来てみたの。
Oh, nothing. I just decided to stop by. Swallow hard. Maybe I should explain the situation to Mayuri. But I know she'll feel guilty if I tell her. Mayuri doesn't need to know. Everything will be okay as long as we crack CERN's database and reach the Beta World Line.
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間、ちょっと減っちゃった。
You know, I haven't talked to Okarin much lately.
でもね、オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないんだ。
But you know, I don't want to be a burden to Okarin. Can I really let it end like this? Shouldn't I tell her what Kurisu is sacrificing for her sake?
もしかしてシャワー浴びてたの?
Shouldn't I tell her what Kurisu is sacrificing for her sake? Excuse me. Did you take a shower? Mayuri moves behind the sofa, grabs the bath towel on my head, and starts rubbing my hair dry.
オカリン、シャンプーのいい匂いがするね。
You smell good. Like shampoo. I didn't mind the towel so much, but then she buries her nose into my hair and starts sniffing.
やめんか?
Stop that. I jerk my head away. Mayuri goes back to drying my hair.
今日ね、コミマ行かなかったよ。
You know, I didn't go to Komima today.
なぜだ?
Huh? Why?
オカリンのこと気になっちゃったのです。
I was thinking about Okarin.
オカリンの辛そうな顔を思い出したらね、コミマを楽しんでなんかいられないなって。
When I got to Ariake, I remembered how sad you looked. And then I thought, I shouldn't be having fun at Komima.
だから有明まで行ったけど参加せずに帰ってきたの。
So I turned around and came all the way back.
そうか。悪かったな。心配かけて。
Oh. Sorry for making you worry. Should I tell her? Or should I keep her in the dark?
最近ね、 ちゃった。
No, I haven't talked to Okarin much lately.
だからね、マユシーは寂しくなっちゃったのかもしれないね。
Maybe Mayushi's getting a little lonely.
まゆり、もし俺がお前に隠し事をしてるって言ったらどう思う？
Mayuri, how would you feel if I said I was keeping a secret from you?
実はオカリンとクリスちゃんは付き合っていますっていうびっくりなこと？
You mean like Okarin and Christian are actually dating?
なぜそうなる？
Where did that come from?
でもね、オカリンとクリスちゃんはとっても仲がいいでしょ。二人はお似合いだと思うな。
Okarin and Christian get along really well, you know? I think you two are meant for each other.
そんな話をしているんじゃないんだ。
No, it's nothing like that.
ああ、
Oh, okay.
全部話してほしいなんて思ってないよ。
You don't have to tell me everything if you don't want to.
人質だからね。どっちかっていうと何にも教えてもらえないのが普通だもん。
Besides, it's normal to keep secrets from your hostage.
そんな話をしているんじゃないんだ。
This isn't the time for that. Mayuri's hand leaves my head. I look over my shoulder in a panic, thinking she wandered off again. She's there. I grab her hand, perhaps more forcefully than I meant to.
マユシーはオカリンの重荷にはなりたくないよ。
Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden. Again.
だからオカリンが言ってくれるまで待つの。
So, I'll wait for Okarin... I'll wait until Okarin's ready to tell me.
昨日もそう言ったよ。
Just like I said yesterday, remember?
一生言わないかもしれないぞ。
And if I decide to never tell you,
それはね、とっても気になっちゃうけど、でもしょうがないかな。
well, I'd be curious. Really curious. But if that's what you want,
その隠していることがお前に関係していることでも。
even if my secret involves you,
マユシーに？
俺はお前を傷つけたくなくて話さないでいるんだ。
I haven't told you because I don't want to hurt you.
そのせいでオカリンは辛い顔してるのかな。
Is that why Okarin looks so sad all the time?
だったらね、話してほしいな。
Then I do want to know.
オカリンが辛そうなの見たくないもん。
I don't like it when Okarin's sad.
それでお前は傷ついてもいいっていうのか。
Even if it means you might get hurt. Mayuri replies with a gentle smile. Yeah. She nods without any hesitation. Her smile is so sincere, it strikes me speechless.
昨日もさっきも言ったよ。マユシーはオカリンの重荷になりたくないって。
Mayushi told you she doesn't want to be a burden.
あのね、マユシーがおばあちゃんのことで苦しかった時、オカリンはマユシーを人質にしてくれたでしょ。
When Mayushi was sad because of what happened to Granny, Okarin took Mayushi hostage. Remember?
だからね、もしオカリンが苦しい時はマユシーが力になってあげたいってずっと思ってたんだよ。
That's why Mayushi always thought that whenever Okarin was sad, she could lend her strength to him, you know?
マユシーなんかじゃ ちっとも役に立たないかもしれないけど。
Mayushi might not be useful, though. Useful. Suddenly I remember. Mayuri is going to die tomorrow. I've been through it once before. She died protecting me, and her last words were,
やっとマユシーはオカリンの
finally, Mayushi was
役に立てたよ。
useful to Okarin. So this is what she meant.
だからね、これ以上辛い顔しないでほしいな。
I don't want to see you hurting.
わかった。
Very well. If that's really how she feels, then I'll tell her everything. I let go of Mayuri's hand and pat the sofa beside me.
ここに座るんだ。
Take a seat. Mayuri does as she's told.
おやつ持ってきていい？
Can I get some snacks?
お前は空気が読めないな。
This is serious, remember?
そうだね。
Oh, right. Mayuri sits up straight with her hands folded in her lap.
じゃあどうぞ。
Okay, ready.
これから話すことは全部事実だ。お前が見た夢とも関係している。
Everything I'm about to tell you is true. It's related to those dreams you had.
そして俺はこの後お前のために仲間を犠牲にするつもりだ。
I plan to sacrifice one of our friends for your sake.
オカリン？
Anxiety clouds Mayuri's face, but I ignore it and take her chin in my fingers. Switch has already been flipped inside of me.
せいぜい後悔するがいい。この俺、狂気のマッドサイエンティストである法院京馬が行ってきた恐るべき所業の数々を聞いてな。
You will soon regret your curiosity, my dear, for the deeds of the great Ho-in Kyoma are many and terrible. And so I begin, speaking as the mad scientist whose foolish experiments brought everything to ruin. I start with the first raid on the lab, tell Mayuri how Moeka killed her. Next I tell her about Suzuha and Faris, about Lukako, Moeka, FB, and Nai. I describe their fates in every detail. And finally, I tell her about Karisu.
すなわちマキセ・クリスを生贄として俺は新たなる世界へと旅立つのだ。
By sacrificing Makise Karisu, I will embark upon a journey to a glorious new world. There was a lot to explain, and Mayuri kept asking questions, desperate to understand the strange concepts I was throwing at her. Thanks to that, the conversation went longer than expected. It's already getting late.
以上がこの俺法院京馬が考えた壮大なる計画、その名もメイドインヘブンである。
And that is the plan most grand and devious of the insane mad scientist, Ho-in Kyoma. I call it Made in Heaven. Finally, it's over. Mayuri says nothing. She's staring at her hands, which are clenched into tiny trembling fists. She looks ready to cry any second.
なぜそんな顔をしている？
What's the matter? Mayushi shakes her head and bites her lip.
オカリンもクリスちゃんも 苦しんでたんだね。
The whole time you and Chris-chan were hurting.
なのにマユシーはのんきにコスを作ってた。
Mayushi was making costumes like nothing was wrong.
こんなのバカみたいだよ。
I feel so stupid.
マユシーは何にも知らなかった。
I didn't know anything.
お前が責任を感じる必要はないのだ。全てはこの俺による計画なのだからな。
Of course you didn't. That's how I planned it.
幻滅したか、マユリ。だが俺は仲間を平気で犠牲にできる男。故にお前がベータ世界線に行きたくないと言ってもそれを聞き入れるつもりはない。
Are you disappointed in me, Mayuri? Sorry, but this is who I am. I will do anything, sacrifice anyone to accomplish my goals. Whether you like it or not, you're coming with me to the Beta World Line.
お前には俺の人質として絶対に最後まで付き合ってもらうぞ。
You're my hostage. You have no say in the matter.
世界に訪れる混沌、これこそがシュタインズゲートの選択なのだ。
Let chaos descend upon the world. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Mayuri ignores my performance. She gets to her feet and lurches toward the door. I quickly grab her by the wrist.
おい、どこ行く？
Where are you going?
クリスチャンに会いに行かなきゃ。
I need to see Chris-chan.
ねえオカリン、クリスチャンに会いたいよ。
Please, Ocarine. I have to talk to her. There's no way I can refuse Mayuri's request. I contacted Krisu. We arranged to meet on the UPX overpass at 4:30 in the morning. I was wondering why she wanted to meet so early, but I understand once I see her. She's dragging a large suitcase.
お見送りご苦労。
Thanks for coming to see me off. She faces us with a smile.
そのスーツケース、まさか。
Does that suitcase mean what I think it does?
ああ、そういうことよ。
Hmm? Oh, yeah, it does.
帰るのか、アメリカに。
You're going back to America. Krisu nods.
もともと8月の頭には帰る予定だったんだけど、どっかのマッドサイエンティストに捕まって予定より長めの滞在になっちゃった。
I was supposed to go back at the beginning of the month, but then I ran into a certain mad scientist and ended up staying longer than planned.
もう私が手伝えることもないだろうし、後腐れなくって意味でもいいでしょ。
There's nothing else I can help you with anyway. And I don't want to be a liability. Is she doing this for me? Or is she trying to outrun her fear? It's not my right to stop her. Even if I did, it wouldn't change anything. Today, as planned, I will crack CERN's database and move to the Beta World Line. I've made my decision. Mayuri is next to me, standing still with her head hung.
マユリ？どうしたの？具合悪いの？
What's wrong, Mayuri? Are you feeling sick? I gently nudge her back.
ほら、マユリ。
Come on, Mayuri. She takes one step, pauses for a second, then leaps on Krisu with a cry.
クリスチャン。
どうしたの？いきなり。
Whoa, what's going on?
マユシーはね、クリスチャンがいなくなるの。やだよ。
Mayoshi doesn't want Chris-chan to disappear. Krisu hears the desperate plea in Mayuri's voice. She gives me a look that asks, "Did you tell her?" I silently nod.
マユシーのためなんかに消えたりしないでね。
You can't disappear. Not for Mayushi. Understand?
マユリ、お前。
マユシーだってクリスチャンを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくないよ。
Mayushi doesn't want to live if Chris-chan has to die. I expected Mayuri might say that. It's absolutely essential that I remain firm. I feel bad for Kurisu, but it needs to be said.
それは許されない。俺はマユリを選んだのだ。マユリには救われる義務があるのだ。
This is the way it has to be. I chose you, Mayuri. You have an obligation to live. Pain stabs through my heart. These words are reprehensible.
クリスはお前のために命を投げ出すという契約をこの俺と交わした。それを保護にすれば最悪がこの地を襲うだろ。
Krisu and I made a pact. She agreed to trade her life for yours. If that sacred covenant is broken, this world is doomed. Clench my fists tight to suppress my self-loathing.
クリスの思いを無駄にするな、マユリ。
Don't put Kurisu's feelings to waste, Mayuri.
でも
But...
ありがとう、マユリ。
Thank you, Mayuri. Kurisu wraps her arms around Mayuri's back, returning the hug.
でも私はもう自分の中で結論を出したし、納得もしてるから。
But this was my decision too. I'm okay with it, really.
知ってる？あんたって岡部にものすごい愛されてるって。
Okabe loves you, you know?
何を言い出すのだ。
What are you saying?
事実でしょ？
It's true, isn't it? She gives me a mischievous smile.
だからマユリが死んだら岡部はすごく悲しむ。岡部にそんな思いさせたくないでしょ？
Would make him really sad if you died. You don't want him to be sad, do you?
でもクリスチャンがいなくなったらマユシーは悲しいよ。
But if Chris-chan goes away, it'll make Mayushi sad.
そうね。会えなくなると寂しいかな。
Yeah, I know. Makes me sad too.
でもどうせ私は生きてたってアメリカに帰るつもりだったわけだし。
But this was going to happen eventually. I had to go back to America sooner or later.
だから別の世界線に行っても私はアメリカにいるものだと思えばそう大した違いはない。
So, even if you move to another world line, just think of me as being in America. It's practically the same thing.
そういう問題じゃないもん。クリスチャンが消えちゃうのが嫌なんだもん。
That's not the problem. I don't want Chris-chan to disappear.
ねえ、やめよう。クリスチャンが消えることないよ。
Let's stop this, okay? Don't make Chris-chan disappear. Kurisu separates from Mayuri and gazes straight into her face.
これ以上私や岡部を困らせたらダメ。
You have to listen to us now, Mayuri. She uses a gentle tone, as if speaking to a child. Then she lightly bumps Mayuri on the head.
岡部、もうマユリの手を離しちゃダメよ。
Okabe, don't ever let go of her again.
分かってる。
I know.
それじゃあ私は行くから。
Well, I'm off.
もう二度と岡部の顔見なくて済むと思うとせいせいするわ。
Thank God I'll never have to see your silly face again. She punctuates her insult with a smile. She's so cheerful now. A far cry from the shivering girl in the dark. To see her like this breaks my heart. I'm so sorry. I repeat the words in my heart again and again, begging for forgiveness. Kurisu turns to go.
クリスちゃん、行かないで、行かないでよ。
Chris-chan, don't go. Please don't go.
ついてこないで。
Don't follow me. She shouts over her shoulder. Mayuri freezes.
同情なんてしないで。惨めになるだけだから。
I don't want pity. It'll only make me feel worse.
これは私が決めたことなの。まゆりに何を言われたってもう揺るがない。
This is my decision. Nothing you can say will change my mind.
さよなら。
Goodbye.
まゆり、約束よ。あんたは幸せになりなさい。
Promise me, Mayuri. Promise me you'll find happiness. With that, Kurisu walks away. Early morning Akihabara, well before sunrise. The trains are just starting to run. She disappears into the station, dragging her suitcase behind her, alone. Mayuri falls to her knees, her face streaked with tears. As I approach, I hear her voice.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
お前が謝る必要はない。すべてはこの俺の決断だ。
You have nothing to apologize for. This was my decision, and mine alone.
クリスには消えてもらう。俺はクリスを助けない。
Kurisu will disappear, for I chose not to save her.
そして世界には俺が望む混沌が訪れるのだ。
I chose to bring the chaos I desire to the world.
俺が許せないか、マユリ。ならば恨めばいい。
You can't forgive me, can you, Mayuri? Then hate me.
だがそれでもお前には最後まで付き合ってもらう。
But even so, you're staying by my side until the very end.
俺は
I have chosen
俺はお前を救うためにクリスを見殺しにする。
to save you. I will let Kurisu die.
だからお前がどれだけ俺を恨もうと、俺の意見に反対しようと、
So hate me, loathe me, curse my name.
もう後戻りするつもりはない。
But I will not turn back.
俺の野望は誰にも止められない。
Nobody can stop me now. Mayuri slowly stands up. Then she buries her face into my chest, just like she did to Kurisu.
おかりん、おかりんの本当の気持ち聞きたいよ。
Tell me how you really feel. How I really feel? Mayuri looks straight up into my eyes.
おかりんが心の中で思ってることは素直な言葉で聞きたいよ。
I want to know what's in your heart, your honest feelings.
マユシーはね、もう重荷になりたくないから。
Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden anymore.
なってねえよ。 なってるわけないだろ
You're not a burden. How can you think that?
これは俺のエゴだ俺がお前を助けたいだけだお前を失いたくないだけだ
This is about me. Because I want to save you. Because I can't bear to lose you.
ありがとうオカリンありがとう
Yeah. Thank you, Ocarine. Thank you. Mayuri tries her hardest to smile through her tears. And then, once again, she buries her face into my chest.
いつも見てた怖い夢も
I've been having scary dreams lately.
そこに出てくるかっこいいオカリンも
In those dreams, you always try to save me.
と夢なんかじゃなかったんだね
They weren't dreams, were they?
ずっとマユシーを助けようとしてくれてたんだね
You were fighting to save Mayushi, weren't you?
ねえオカリンマユシーはねオカリンのこと
Hey, Ocarine, you know,
大好きだよ
Mayushi loves you.
オカリンがいてくれるからマユシーは毎日笑っていられるんだよ
Mayushi can smile every day because you're there for me.
これからもずっと一緒にいていい
Can we be together from now on, too?
当たり前だ
Of course. I answer Mayuri with my embrace.
そんなの当たり前だろ
How can you ask that?
一緒にいてくれないと俺が嫌だ
I don't want to be apart from you either. Yeah.
あのねマユシーは幸せになるよ
Mayushi will find happiness.
クリスチャンと約束したから
Just like I promised Christian.
あ
Yeah.
幸せにしてください
Let's be happy together.
あ
We will.
離さないでください
Never let go of me.
あ
I won't.
ずっと大好きでいさせてください
Let me love you forever.
あ
Of course. The radiance of the rising sun pours out between the buildings. Daybreak. As the sky grows brighter, we remain in our embrace, as if to reassure each other that we are still here.
それではこれよりオペレーションベルダンディ最終フェーズを開始する
I mean, how can you expect me to continue after that? Yeah. So it wasn't, we didn't actually get there this time, but it was definitely that sort of emotional, that whole scene there, that was what I was expecting. Maybe not exactly what happened in that scene, but the sort of emotional impact of that scene, that's what I was expecting. I mean, it had to be done. You had to have a scene like that. After all the build-up, it needed to be there, but it doesn't make it any easier. Yeah, I'm gonna call it there today, I think. Next time, maybe I'll be able to feel a bit better. We went ahead, we got the hard part out of the way. Now we can purely focus on the task ahead of us, having said our goodbyes. And with renewed purpose and vigor, we can head into a new future, I guess. if I can put a nice positive spin on this. Okay. I think that's it. I've been The Warm, this has been Steins Gate. I hope you're doing alright, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.